Welcome to episode number 3 of the TripleCrown Conversations podcast. My name is Tyler Pumphrey, and I'm here with Hayden All and Austin Cardish. Guys, it's pretty good weather outside today, ain't it?
Yeah, it's really nice out. Good fishing weather.
Nice 60 degrees outside.
Oh, yeah.
Last week we started off with some, if we had any interesting stories. I can't remember if we had any interesting stories.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, that story. So you all
Rodman.
got any interesting stories we need to know about before this week's episode?
Well, I got to call somebody out real quick. I got to call out my girlfriend. So last weekend, we went up to Corbin in Kentucky, and we went to this arcade or so. And so we won these tickets and everything, and then we got to this thing, and I showed her this little hack where I used to go to a bunch of arcades and do these little glitches with tickets and things. I showed her this little trick where you could, like, hold the tickets in there, and it'll just keep counting up the numbers, so you'll get more on your little ticket, right?
So you're cheating.
Cheating for tickets, yeah. And she kept held in there, and then we got over like 1,000 something just so she could get this stupid little stuffed animal thing. I mean, if it works, it works, but I just wanted to call her out for that. I know she'll be watching this.
So Muffin's cheating the system. Just so you know, every arcade that Muffin goes to, he cheats the system.
Yeah, don't kick us out.
Austin, you got any interesting stories since we left off last week?
Nothing that tops that.
All right,
you got no one to call out, Austin?
No. I don't have anyone to call out either. My life's not as interesting as Muffin. So we'll move on. We'll go to start off with the Super Bowl. Start off with our first sports topic of the day. So the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22. Yep, in overtime. 49ers were up most of the game until the Chiefs came back. Never doubt Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they showed Taylor Swift quite a bit. I don't know how many times it was, but they did show her quite often.
It hit over 6.5.
Oh, did they have a bet for that?
Yeah.
Over 6.5 showing her?
Uh-huh. That's how you know something's up, when they have a bet for how many times they show somebody.
Tyler did call they would go into overtime, so
yeah.
I didn't expect
the Chiefs to win too.
I expected the Niners to win. It was a good game though. I thought it was. I mean, it's the first overtime game in 20 years or so. I think it was really good though.
Yeah. This is actually the 49ers have actually lost 3 straight Super Bowls now. Going back to when was their first Super Bowl, Austin? Who they play? So they played the 49ers in 2020, I believe. I can't think of who they played before that.
Wasn't Harbaugh one of the coaches when they went?
The Ravens? Was it the Ravens that they lost to? So, yeah, they've lost 3 straight Super Bowls.
That's crazy.
So.
That was a Super Bowl where the lights went out.
Was it? Yeah, the lights went out.
Harbaugh.
Yeah, Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
So, can Kyle Shanahan just not get it done in the Super Bowl? Or
I mean, we saw him against the Patriots. Where was it? Patriots versus Atlanta?
Yeah.
What? He was up 32-3 or something going into half against Brady.
It was 28.
And he 28-3, and he sold it. So, I mean, Kyle Shanahan just can't get the job done. I don't.
Mahomes played amazing though. 34 for 46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. He played as good as you can possibly play in the Super Bowl.
Which going into this, we knew Mahomes was going to show out like he usually does in the Super Bowls. I mean, it must just be he's not shown that he's been the best all year, but when it comes to playoff time, he always seems to show up. So.
And he led the Chiefs in rushing yards. I didn't realize that. He led
over
the Chiefs
Pacheco?
Yeah.
Pacheco was struggling.
So I thought it was a really good game. Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker, is really good.
Why didn't he get MVP? That's what I was thinking.
I
Like, everyone was like, he scored the most points for him. He hit the longest field goal in Super Bowl history. Scored the most points, and he's not even up for discussion for Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I figured for sure he'd have been in the conversation. Of course, Mahomes is going to get it.
They always give it to the quarterbacks. The quarterback could have an awful game. They still give it to the quarterback, probably.
Yeah, that's. I think they need to stop that with the having to give it to the quarterback.
Austin, who did you have winning this game?
I had the Chiefs.
Okay.
I had the Chiefs 21-18. It was a little more than I thought it would be, but they ended up pulling it out. You know, Travis Kelce didn't propose, like I said. I said it was 1%.
Hey, Tyler said 50%.
I said it was like 50%.
I said 23%.
And before this game, I even called Shanahan, can't get it done, and I can't trust him. That's why I took the Chiefs. You know, everybody wanted the 49ers to win, but everybody thought the Chiefs would win. So, I mean, there's that. But, yeah, it was a good game. It started out defensive game, you know, and
the first 3 quarters were really boring, I thought.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. It was a really good defensive game. And then when the 49ers went to drive, they fumbled. And then when the Chiefs went to drive, they fumbled. And then yeah, then later on, it turned into to an offensive fest and went into overtime.
49ers had the chance to win because Mahomes threw a pick. I mean, he threw a pick and they fumbled. They got 2 possessions back that they could have converted and won the game.
Neither team really played their best either.
No.
That game was really up for grabs. So I gotta say this too. What did y'all think about the halftime show? I didn't watch a halftime show, so I don't really have an opinion.
I actually thought it was really good. I liked Usher performing, but I mean, there's been a lot of complaints about it, but I think I liked it a lot more than last year's for sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how he brought out everybody, Alicia Keys, Ludacris, all of them. You know, it was really good. And a lot of people were putting in their top 3s. I'm not sure if I would, but yeah.
It's definitely not top 3, but Usher's got them dance moves, son. I don't know what.
So who do you think will be in the halftime show next year? If you had to pick.
My guess is Justin Bieber. They were showing that he was supposed to be in it, and every girl was going crazy that he was going to be in it.
Yes. Austin?
It seems like the NFL loves Jack Harlow. So mine's going to say
he did perform, didn't
Jack
he?
Harlow.
Thanksgiving, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that little ice globe.
Yeah, they was making fun of his little ice globe.
So, actually, let's go ahead and predict the Super Bowl for next year. What do you got in the Super Bowl?
This is a way too early prediction,
Yeah,
but
way too early.
Give me the Browns versus, let's see, who would I think would be
I
in
think you want to say the Cowboys.
Browns versus Cowboys.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty good, yeah.
Austin?
I got Chiefs versus Rams.
Chiefs again? No,
Yeah.
4 times.
I'm telling you, like, they're going for a 3-peat. That's all the hype, you know. And, you know, I don't want to see the Bengals in it.
When was the last 3-peat? I can't even remember. Has there never been a 3-peat? I'm thinking of basketball, the Bulls and them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Ravens-Cowboys.
Ravens-Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens-Cowboys. I say that every year.
I helped you out
I
with
feel
the
like
Cowboys.
y'all boys every year.
I say that every year. I guess it's
Y'all
just
still them boys?
Yeah, wishful thinking. But so we'll see if that happens.
Speaking of Cowboys, they did get a new hire.
Mm-hmm. They hired Mike Zimmer, defensive coordinator. The old used to coach the Vikings until 2021. He was there for a while. I believe he was there for 10 or so years with the Vikings. I actually thought that was a pretty good hire, you know, losing Dan Quinn to Washington. Mike Zimmer always had good defenses in Minnesota, so I actually thought that was a pretty good hire for the Cowboys. What do you all think?
I thought it was a good hire too, but I honestly thought there was better options in Mike Vrabel or somebody like that you could have put at DC. I like Vrabel a lot, so I'm obviously going to say they should have hired Mike Vrabel for DC. I thought that would have been a better pickup, but overall, looking at his stuff over the years, he's done pretty good. I mean, the Vikings' defense was decent, and I believe that he'll help the Cowboys pretty well.
What do you think about it, Austin?
I agree with Muffin. So, y'all know I like Mike Vrabel and everything. And, hey, if you would have hired Vrabel, I mean, Zimmer, you can, but, like, something happens where the boys don't get it done, you know. Is McCarthy out? You know.
No, he's not out.
But speaking of coaching, let's transition back to the 49ers. Do y'all think Kyle Shanahan should be on the hot seat?
I don't think he should be. You said this. He's been talking about this all week, but I don't think he should be.
I think he should. I think he should because you lose, 3 straight Super Bowls, and you just can't get it done. And they're all by 10-plus points. Like, I get one, Dan Quinn was the coach, and you were the OC, but you just can't get it done, man. It's just simple as that. And he's going to have them compete next year, but they're not going to win anything. So, I mean, I think he should honestly be on the hot seat.
The thing you have to look for, though, who are they going to hire who would you hire that would be better than Kyle Shanahan? There's not many options out there.
You think he's better than Kyle Shanahan? I think he would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, though, has at least got him there. That's my thing, is he's got him there. And there's been a bunch of coaches that are still on rosters that haven't even gone to the Super Bowl the past few years. I mean,
they fired their defensive coordinator after one season
Yeah,
after he
I don't
just
like
led
that.
to the Super Bowl.
I
That was
don't like
weird.
that.
yeah, that was one of the best defenses in the league, too, and they
Yeah.
decided to fire their DC, so I don't understand that either.
Who was Steve Wilkes? Is
Yeah,
that his name?
and he had him looking good in the Super Bowl, so I don't understand. Like, there looked like there was a lot of missed holding calls, so I don't understand like how you're gonna judge it and be like, oh, it's all on his fault. It's like, you know, it makes you wonder why they're not firing their OC. But then I get to thinking about it. I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan's calling the plays, so I can see that. So it's like he's got to throw the blame somewhere else. Like, the defense looks solid at first. and then going into overtime and late in the game, you know, they're tired. You've used them all game. Your offense just fell flat, and you can't get anything going. So, you know, I don't like the firing.
But we did see that interesting stat on the way here about the holding calls.
Yeah.
Not saying the NFL's scripted, but past 3 Super Bowls the Chiefs have been in, not one holding call. And this year they was the most, They held the most out of all teams this year. Not one holding call in the Super Bowl. Not saying it's scripted, but something's got to go. Something's going up in there. I mean, not one holding call in all 3 Super Bowls. I mean, that's crazy.
So you all may notice that we have a 4th chair up here. We're about to bring on our very first guest on the Triple Crown Conversations podcast. The very first guest. Ben should feel very special about this. Very honored. So we'll bring in Ben Shaw.
Come on up, Ben Shaw.
If he'll get up off the couch.
He's currently throwing a dip in, if anyone wants to know.
Ben's a big chewer of tobacco, which is gross, I think. But me and my been buddies for a while now, and we thought we'd bring him in for some insight on some just life stories and everything like that. Ben, how's it going, buddy?
It's an honor to be here.
It's an honor. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so I wanted to bring up this story when Ben got on the podcast because I think this is something that Ben would do. So I was looking in the news the other day, and I seen where police in Florida found a kangaroo near a pool at an apartment complex. Ben, I think this would be something that you would be really good at pulling off. Bring a kangaroo to Kentucky to your pool. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's definitely something I can see myself doing.
How do you even go about getting a kangaroo?
I'm wondering. I don't know how you. Sure, I don't know if anyone has a kangaroo in Kentucky. I wouldn't think Florida would be very livable for them than Kentucky.
I mean, I guess we're getting overrun by kangaroos now. I don't know. I've never heard of no kangaroo.
Ben was telling us something too. What would you see? Sharks in Mammoth Cave or something?
That was something I heard my dad talking about. I didn't physically see it.
We did have an alligator in Lake Cumberland last year. It was dead within a few days, but we did have an alligator in Lake Cumberland.
So would you fight the kangaroo, Ben?
Would I fight the kangaroo?
Yeah, would you fight? If you walked outside and there's a kangaroo staring at you in your backyard, would you fight it?
Have you seen that one video of that guy squaring up with one over that dog?
Yeah, Making buzz pretty good.
If I had to defend myself or one of my dogs, I'd probably fight it.
Can you I hope
I'd just shoot it.
Yeah, I hope we're there when you do that. We'll video.
Yeah, I really would like to see that. Okay, we'll move on. So I actually got a question for you all. So you gotta actually think about this question. Why do you think they call it breakfast? Have you ever just sat there when you're eating breakfast and you just think, why do they call it breakfast?
I've never thought about it, but
through the night you're not eating. I guess you could call that fasting, and you're taking a break from your fast.
That
was actually 100% right.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how in the world you got that right.
I was gonna say it's just a fast break where you eat.
I don't know. It's a pretty random question myself.
Yeah, Ben got it exactly right. You're breaking your fast because you eat. I mean, most people eat supper around 6, 7 o'clock. I would think you don't eat again until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe. So you're breaking a 10, 12-hour fast.
I must say, that's when I'm horrible at. I get up in the middle of the night and eat a lot of snacks.
Well, maybe you're not fasting. But yeah, exactly right, Ben. You got some weird knowledge.
I think that one came lucky.
All right. So,
it says it right in the name.
Fast break.
Yeah, but I didn't think you all would know.
Break
really.
from a fast. It's common sense.
Yeah, you're breaking a fast. You're right. All right, you all want to move on to Major League Baseball pitchers and catchers?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they just report?
Mm-hmm. Reds pitchers and catchers reported yesterday. Austin's got the Reds jersey on today.
Yeah.
Whose jersey is it?
TJ Anton, reliever for the Reds. Cool dude. You know, I've got his jersey, and then I posted it on my story a time, and he's reposted it, and he's a pretty cool dude.
So any outstanding pitchers for the Reds, you think, Tyler?
I think their new pitchers that they're bringing in are going to be really solid. I think Martinez, Emilio Pagan, Frankie Montas, they signed him for the most money this year. If he can give them some good innings, he's gonna be a starter for them. If he can give them some good innings, that'll be good for him.
We needed the bullpen help a lot too.
Yeah.
That was one of our biggest weaknesses.
Yeah, that'll be good for him. So yeah, Emilio Pagan, Frankie Montas, Nick Lodolo's another starter that they can bring up. They need to have a good year. He was hurt most of last year, Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think everybody just has to be healthy. Ashcraft, Green, Abbott, everybody dealt with the injuries, and I think this year they all need to just get it together and let's see where it goes.
Yeah, so they have their first spring training game, I think the 24th, so baseball's coming up.
Yeah, we're going to have to get them fantasy teams ready.
Yeah, have to get some fantasy baseball going. So we'll move on from baseball to kind of a sad note. So I was seeing yesterday a story in Kansas City where they're having the Chiefs Super Bowl parade, and how many 2 or 3 guys that were shooting apparently killed one. I don't know how many they injured.
I think it's like 22 total.
Yeah.
22 total they injured.
Yeah, so that was kind of a sad thing to see, especially during the time that's supposed to be, happy Super Bowl.
That's what America's coming down to anymore. I mean, you try and gather a big old group of people together, and anymore it's just a shooting just any time. So I don't see the point in doing that. Obviously, that's crazy. But our prayers go out to all them that have been injured and stuff.
Ben, what do you think? What do you think about that? You got any strong opinions?
I mean, it's a horrible thing that happened. Kind of what Muffin said. The world's pretty evil right now. Like you got Ice Spice during the Super Bowl with the upside down cross.
Yeah, I think Ice Spice is weird anyway, and seeing her throw up symbols and all kinds of stuff. What's the point? I mean, you're just on TV. You're just trying to cause news and stir stuff up.
She had like an upside down cross on. Like that's just so disrespectful, really. Sitting right beside Taylor Swift, of course. I mean, I can't imagine two people that would. I mean, how did they think they got all their fame? It wasn't because of the devil. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're worshiping him, really. I mean, maybe not Taylor Swift. I haven't seen actually anything about Taylor Swift, but
she posted that tweet.
What tweet?
Real Christians support abortion.
Oh, okay, that's crazy. These big, I mean, when people get this famous, there's no point in shouting out all this different stuff that you support and all this. I think that if you're going to be a celebrity, just be quiet and believe what you believe. You don't have to show it to everybody. And
yeah, they think they have to, though. They ain't just because they have a big following. They want to bring people in with them, which is just stupid.
I think it's pretty absurd. And yeah, but our thoughts and prayers go out to all the injured and stuff at the shootings. It's a sad day that's supposed to be pretty happy for the city, and I don't know what else to say.
Do you really have a spitter on the desk?
He's got a spitter over here. Hey, speaking of spitting, what kind of dip you chewing there, buddy?
I did chew Grizzly Wintergreen for about 8 years, and then prices started going up on that, so I moved to Cougar.
Is that the cheap brand or something?
It is. It's about half the price.
Free shout-outs.
They had that one. I seen that at the gas station when we were back in high school. Chattanooga Chew.
You remember the locker we had in baseball, Tyler?
Yeah.
That had just loads of dip cans. The whole locker was
I
full.
don't know who was that had that. It was
Ben. It
was yours.
It's one of him.
It was Colton.
Well, they had like these big old tubs, like big tubs. They had a whole locker full. They had cans all over in it, and half the time. Every game they'd be chewing a whole tub a game for all I remember.
Yeah, he had an absurd amount of dip cans in that locker.
Yeah. Hey, but speaking of Taylor Swift and who was in her suite, you're panning to her a lot. Why didn't we get more Blake Lively? I mean, she's really attractive. You're over here panning to Taylor Swift. We've seen her 1,000 times this season.
They didn't pan to Bieber either. A lot of people was concerned.
Let's just chill there, buddy. Okay, we're talking about Blake Lively here.
What about
Ryan Reynolds' wife?
What about Anna Fryer? We just gonna leave her out?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Anna Fryer.
Yeah,
that's the one that looks like Brock Purdy. They
She
said
does not compete with Blake Lively.
She wasn't even in a suite though. She's like in one of the areas of the stadium. I don't remember, but
she looks exactly like
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. It's weird how much she looks like Brock Purdy.
She got famous off of doing one interview, so I didn't understand it.
Yeah. So we'll move on to y'all want to do the Alabama man, or do you want to skip? You want to?
Oh, we can do that.
But you go ahead and introduce them.
So apparently, in Alabama, there's two people that stole a 200-foot tower, a 200-foot like cell phone tower, and police have no idea who done it and are baffled. How would you even go about stealing a 200-foot tower, Tyler?
I don't know. Ben, this also sounds like you might have tried.
I mean, you all are portraying I'm a thief. I'm not
Well,
a
the
thief.
shoe fits.
Well, the thing is if you can steal a 200-foot tower, where are you gonna hide it, and what are you gonna do with it? Why wouldn't you use your mind to steal something like a nice car or something even better than a 200-foot tower?
How do you even start? Like, what do you even do? How do you even get it off the ground?
I feel like this is a scene from Now You See Me 3. You know, that's the only way I could describe it.
Where are you gonna hide it?
You know,
You gonna hide it?
where
in
you
your
gonna
house?
lay it down? You know, in a field somewhere. I don't understand.
Ben, how would you go about stealing a tower if you had the choice?
It'd take a lot of planning. I mean, it'd be a job.
You'd have to get out something to lift it up, and even during all this, how's nobody gonna hear you?
I
just steal it?
personally think it's a inside job.
What are you gonna break it down and then sell it piece by piece?
Okay,
Like,
that leads me to my next question. Ben, have you ever stolen anything? You can confess your sin right now on this podcast.
I mean, yes, I have stolen things
Uh-oh.
before.
would you still?
I mean, I was probably
We don't have to bring.
I was probably like 5 taking something out of the candy drawer when I wasn't supposed to.
what?
Something along those
I mean,
lines.
you're still from your parents. Then. Like,
Austin, have you never stole?
oh, I've stolen
What have you stole?
penny candy.
Why is it always gonna be candy?
Because you know you're a kid.
Why,
you
Tyler?
know,
What have you stole?
what do you want as a kid? You want a
Not that
toy
I
or
know
something?
of. I do remember this story though. We were when I was younger, we had a baseball tournament, and apparently my mom and my sister went with one of my friends' mom to a store, and apparently my sister was like maybe 3 years old at the time, and apparently she was in a stroller and she had grabbed a pair of sunglasses. And my mom didn't realize she grabbed a pair of sunglasses and walked out of the store. They got to the ballpark after the store, and they looked, and she had new sunglasses on. So apparently she had stole sunglasses from the store.
They didn't catch her, so you know at that point it's just yours. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like the saying that if it's not illegal if you don't get caught. So, and
didn't
those
get
guys,
caught,
those
yeah.
2 men didn't get caught. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Moving on. I gotta ask you all this question. What age would you all say you had a daughter, what age would you let her go out on a date with a boy? Ben, you'll go first.
Whatever age she is when she moves out of the house.
So what if she's like 21 years old, still living with you? Is she not allowed to go on a date?
Yeah, I mean, I'm being sarcastic there. Yeah, I should be allowed to go on a date. I mean, I probably wouldn't let my daughter have these, kindergarten, 5th grade boyfriends.
So what age?
I'd probably say, 15, 16.
Okay.
What about you?
I would go 16.
Yeah.
16 where she can drive. I don't have to take her anywhere. What is that, sophomore in high school? That feels about right.
I'll add on to this. What about going to the bedroom? What age would you allow them to hang out in a bedroom?
Well,
I don't know.
Supervisor or unsupervised?
Oh, the door. In my opinion, the door would be open. They would not be allowed to sit on the bed.
Where are they going to sit? The floor?
They would be on the floor, or they could hang out in the living room.
well, I'd probably say, I mean, if they're in the bedroom, it'd have to be at 18.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Door
What?
will still be open under my roof.
Okay, what age would you let your daughter go on her first date, Mama?
Probably be like 15, 16, somewhere in there. It seems like the average, so I'd be right there.
Yeah, I think we all agree around the 15, 16 age. So We're on the same track. We're gonna be some good parents.
Now, daughters would probably hate us because we ain't gonna let them go on their first date till they're 15 and 16. Like, I know my sister says she already has her boyfriend, so, and she's 14. I'm like, how in the
We're
world is
gonna
that?
have to talk to her about
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna have to.
You know,
set
it's
some
almost
laws.
like the game.
Hey, funny story. We seen her at a football game not too long ago, a high school game, and she was with a boy, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was
and,
with some guy.
and Tyler was filming it to send it to his mom.
Yeah, I was
Expose
telling
her.
her.
He was trying to snitch on her. So
We were trying to get her to bring him over and introduce him. You know,
no.
we were gonna give him a hard time.
She acted like I wasn't even there. Was the thing.
Yeah.
She wouldn't tell me his name or nothing. So, so yeah, that was funny. All right, I got another question for y'all. Ben, we'll start with you. What age would you let your kid have their first phone?
I'd say probably whenever they got into middle school, probably if they were, active in sports, stuff like that. I mean,
So 6th grade would be what, like 12?
12 would be heavily monitored.
What could you possibly think they'd be doing on their phone that you'd have to monitor?
I don't know.
At 6th grade.
Well, I remember when I was in 6th grade, I had this little track phone. Now all I could do was text my mom and dad on, and that was it. I could call them and text them. I couldn't even have like games
I had one of
or
them
anything on it.
emergency phones.
Yeah.
That's good parenting.
Yeah.
I remember having one of those. I had a little Samsung when I got a little older, but
I mean, that I don't even have social media. I just think a lot of it's evil. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong to have social media. There's just a lot of dark things on there right now.
well, that's with anything, the internet and social
Yeah.
media.
What age would you let your kid have your first phone, Lovin?
Probably around 6th grade, 7th, somewhere in there. Yeah,
12, 13. I think that's probably.
I'd give them a flip phone to start.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't give them an iPhone. Probably 7th grade, maybe 13 years old.
Well, by then kids might be wearing them Apple Visions in
Yeah,
school. So
you're probably right. I'd be what, 20 years? Well, I don't know how old I'd be. From now.
you got something to tell
No,
us?
I'm just saying. Austin.
I'd say about 14 to 15, somewhere in that range. You know, you can't do it too early, but, you want them to get out there and experience life before they get into technology. And nowadays, kids are just growing up on technology. And, when I grew up, I was outdoors playing football, with the neighbors and everything. So I'd say about 14, 15 is fair.
Kids don't really go outside anymore. I feel like all
Yeah.
they do is play video games.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad.
Did you go outside as a kid, Shaw?
I did. I've never really played video games a whole lot. Never been a fan.
Speaking of video games, there is a new video game coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
There's NCAAF or something, isn't it? Or
It's a new college football game.
Yeah, the new college
That
football
is
game.
that is something I would probably play.
That'll be a good game.
I think we all kind of love the fact that it's coming back. Like, that's what everybody who's played, the older ones, they've been wanting. And finally, now that NIL's out there and everything, they're coming out and it's like, yeah, we're going to go for it.
How long has
So-
it been since the last one?
What was it,
2000
13?
2014.
14? Well, we're getting that
I
before
think Robert
new
Griffin
GTA.
was on it, wasn't he?
Who?
Robert Griffin
Griffin,
the
yeah.
third.
Yeah, so it's been 10
it's
years.
been a while, so we've all been waiting for it.
We're
and,
getting that before we're getting a new GTA.
Yeah. Honestly, I want another street game, like basketball street
I
and
never played some of
football.
those, yeah.
Those were fun for me.
I grew up on the Wii. I don't know about you all, but I grew
the
up on the
Wii.
Wii.
We
I played the
sports.
some.
Wii
We
Sports,
sports
yeah.
was a big childhood.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up on PlayStation 1s, 2s, 3s, Xboxes. So yeah, I played some good games, and Street was one of my favorites all time.
So we had a little thing we was going to play here for a minute. We was going to have a ranking of the fast food restaurants around here in Somerset. Not like certain ones out of state and stuff. I was going to tell y'all some. We're going to rank them 1 through 5. But once I say one and you guys say like 1 through 5, you can't change it no matter what else I say. So, I mean, first of all, we're going to start 1 through 5. We're going to say McDonald's, the basic one. Where are you going to rank it 1 through 5? We'll start with Shaw.
We're gonna put that as solid number 3.
Oh, a 3. That's higher than I thought.
You want me to go next?
Yeah, you can go.
I'm going 5.
5.
Yeah, unless their breakfast is good. Their food, Austin.
We all just mysteriously hate McDonald's now. I'm going to Ben at number 3. The only thing I can say about McDonald's is their ice cream machine. Get it together. Okay, it's been too long. Get it together.
All right, so my second one was Wendy's.
Solid 2.
He's already gonna have his top 3 before
Solid 2.
I'm going number 4. I've got my 5 and 4 down. Hopefully there's better options.
Yeah, I'm going 4 as well. So I got 3 and 4 down.
3 and 4. All right, so the next one we're gonna have to go with Taco Bell.
That's a solid 5.
Oh,
Somerset, Kentucky has the worst Taco
Yeah.
Bell that you could ever imagine. I would not recommend eating there.
Can I switch up my order?
No,
I
that's
can't
the
switch it
rules.
up?
That's the rules. Once
Oh,
you pick,
okay.
you're not allowed to change.
Okay, we'll go number 3. I don't like Taco Bell. I'm a picky eater, so we'll go number 3.
All right, we'll give Tyler a good one here. Slim Chickens.
Well, Austin didn't rank Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
I'll just
Oh.
throw it in slot 5.
I'll throw that at 4.
Slim Chickens at 4.
4.
I'm doing number 2. Oh, no. Number 1. Number 1.
Number 1.
Muffin used to work at Slim Chickens.
I did used to work there.
I'm going with number 2. I'm gonna leave it open for a big restaurant at number 1. So, but they do have really good shit.
Slim Chickens is good. It's up there.
All right, so we got one left. One of y'all's got number 1 left. So the last one for Somerset, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have to say Eamon's. Eamon's
I wouldn't count Eamon's.
Yeah, it is.
They're biased.
So they got a drive-through.
Well, there goes my list.
That's more of a.
Well, you want me to change it up?
I would, for a solid 1, I'd probably go.
Okay, that's not the game, buddy.
But we should switch it up because not a lot of people know what Eamon's is.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'd go number 1. I'd probably go.
What about your, like,
All right,
Culver's
so
or
I'm gonna go with Culver's then. Yeah, that's my second option. So that'd have to be
Oh, number 1.
your number
Yeah, it would
one.
have to be my number 1, which I'm comfortable with.
It'd be my
Yeah,
number 2.
I'd be alright with Culver's as number
So
1.
what's your list? What was your list? I know you had one as
Culver's, Wendy's, McDonald's, Slim's, and then Taco Bell.
That's solid.
Mine was Slim Chickens, Culver's, Taco Bell, which would be number 5 if I could change it. But Wendy's, McDonald's.
Mine was Culver's, Slim Chickens, McDonald's, Wendy's, and then Taco Bell.
All right. Well, if I had to pick, I'd probably put Slim Chickens at 1 too, just to go along with Tyler. I like the chicken pretty well.
Okay, let's move on to let's get back on the sports track here. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about Kentucky basketball. Kentucky loses to Gonzaga last Saturday. I think it was 89-84 maybe. It was a close game, but lost that one at home. So now at that point the record was 16-7. They played Ole Miss on Tuesday. Won that one at home. That was a big win. They needed that. They had to have it. Now the record's 17-7. Ole Miss is a good team. Ole Miss is solid. They came into that game 18-5. So they're a really solid team, an NCAA tournament team. Kentucky played well on Tuesday. Their defense was the best it's been all season, really. So
I like their full court defense they was running there for a little bit. I thought it looked really good. A lot better than it had been.
they switched up the lineup a little bit. Bradshaw didn't play as much. Reed Shepherd led the team in minutes. A London boy, 32 minutes.
He started
Does
this
that
one?
quite often, doesn't
No,
it?
he didn't start this one, but he came off the bench and got the most minutes.
How are you going to play a guy 32 minutes and not start him? That's a little bold from Calipari.
That's the $1 million question right now. A lot of Kentucky fans think Shepherd and Rob Dillingham should be starting because they're. If you look at the mock drafts, the NBA mock drafts, Reed Shepherd is projected to go number 2.
What, this year?
Yes, number 2 to I forgot what team.
Overall?
Already?
Yeah, number 2 overall. I seen it in the mock
Hey,
draft.
let's just let the record say I said he's the best player on the team. You know.
I don't think he's the best
Yeah.
player on the team, really, either.
I
I
mean,
know
he's bringing shooting ability, and then in the new NBA, you have to shoot and you have to play defense. So I think he fits the mold right there. Do I think he's going to be living up to the second overall? No, I think he should slide like mid first. I'd like to see him on the Bulls, honestly. We need a threat on the outside, so yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah,
I don't think we've talked much about the NBA. What is your team's,
I'm the Bulls.
Tyler?
I'm the Mavericks.
I'm a Cavs fan. I'm Cleveland everything, of course, but you watch NBA much?
I don't.
What, did you have a team?
No.
No team either.
I am anti-NBA.
Why?
Just not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
Rob Dillingham is probably the most is the best. I think he'll be the best NBA player. His game, I mean, the way he plays, is exactly like the NBA wants him. I mean, he's a guy that can shoot it from outside, skinny. He kind of reminds me a lot of Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. Actually, I think he's going to be really good in the NBA. I think he'll be the best player from Kentucky to go to the NBA. But
I'm not saying Reese is the
that
best.
Is that Wagner with 4 points there?
I didn't say he was the best.
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh, Jansen was giving me some stuff about that, and he comes out with 4 points. Like, what are we doing?
I don't think he's the best on Kentucky, but I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's the best. If I had to pick, I'd put Reeves over Reese. So I think Reeves is better
than who?
Reese.
Than Rob?
No,
Reeves or
Reed. I think Reeves is better than Reed. It's
okay. Yeah. The
Time
best player
twisted.
on Kentucky.
But he's only got 2
college
more
is
points,
Reeves.
too.
Yeah, I don't know how they're projecting him at 2 and Reeves. I mean, how are they going to not even bring him up?
So I see Reeves got he went 1 for 5 from 3. Is he a good 3-point shooter outside of this game?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's like Reed's game, and I feel like the NBA loves those kind of players.
They're their best two. Reeves and Reed are the best 2 shooters on the team. But the thing is, with Reeves, he's 24 years old, so he's
old coming out.
He's a second-year senior, so he'll be second round probably, but he'll get drafted. Kentucky plays Auburn on Saturday at 6 at Auburn. That's gonna be a really tough game. Auburn's a really tough place to play. Early prediction for that game, Muffin?
Score-wise?
Sure, you can say the score.
I think Kentucky's going to win 89-80. I think that against Auburn, they should win. I think it's going to be a close one, though. I believe in the beginning, but I think Kentucky takes it away at half. So I'm going to take Kentucky there strong.
Austin?
I'd have to go 87-79 Kentucky. And, it's another game, you have to win. It's like they've been losing clutch ones here recently, so I'm not, I don't have the utmost faith in them, but, this one they should also win.
Auburn put up 104 points yesterday against South Carolina, who's ranked number 11 in the country. They're playing really well right now. Auburn beat them by 30.
Did Kentucky not lose to South Carolina?
They did. Kentucky lost South Carolina. Yeah.
Well, I might need to change my.
I actually do think Kentucky's going to lose this game. I think Kentucky loses 90-85. I think it's a close game, but I think at Auburn's going to be the deciding factor. I do think they'll go on a run here and finish to the regular season strong, but I think they lose tomorrow. So let's move on to the NBA. We were just talking about the NBA, but who's your all's favorites for the MVP this year?
Well, before Joel Embiid got hurt, that was gonna be my MVP was Joel Embiid. But there has been a rule change here that you have to play a certain amount of games to become the MVP to be in the running. Which that's an interesting rule. Austin, what do you think about that? I know you was bringing that up a lot, but
I think awards like that, like the MVP, I think we should lean back a little bit on them. But obviously, if you can't play 60 games, none of the other awards should be given to you. It's I don't know. I'm iffy on it because it's how can you hold a player capable or to his injuries? He can't control that. But I mean, if you're injury prone, I understand. So it's iffy, but But my MVP, I think my MVP would be right now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Kentucky boy.
Yeah, Kentucky boy. I like the way he just all out balls. He gives effort to OKC, and he's really helped him turn around. He's got Chet and Giddey and the Williams boys. So, yeah, I think he's been balling. I think if anybody deserves it, he does.
Who'd you say yours was? Nothing.
I said it would have been Joel Embiid, but now I'm going to have to stick with Luka. I think my MVP, he's been balling. He's been averaging over 30 points right now. So I'm going to have to stick with Luka.
Yeah, that's who I'm going to go with. I'm a Mavericks fan. I might be kind of biased. But I'm going to go with Luka because he deserves at least one MVP the way he's been playing the last few years. And he's got a lot of pieces around him now.
He just got a lot of help at the deadline, too.
Mm-hmm.
P.J. Washington and all them. They got some bigs, didn't they?
Yeah, they got P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, Gafford.
Gafford.
I like Gafford.
So yeah, they needed big men like that.
Yeah, that's something they struggle with, and they had a couple good guys, and Lively go to Duke, so he's pretty solid, but he's still young and he still has to learn. So the pickup was good.
Luka is leading the team in points, rebounds, and assists.
Without Luka, you're not winning these
No.
games, so that's why I have him
And
at MVP.
And he's got them in steals.
Yeah, and steals. He's averaging 34 points a game on 8 rebounds and 9 assists. He's almost averaging a triple-double a game.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Especially on a team with Kyrie Irving, it's not like he just takes all the shots either. Kyrie takes a lot of shots. The new guys, P.J. Washington, Daniel Gafford, have taken a lot of shots as well. So I think Luka is the MVP right now, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. So to get back on NFL, I want to talk with Ben Shaw here. He had a strong opinion about one coach specifically,
We talked about it on
Dan Campbell.
We
What's
talked
your
about
opinion?
it on the first episode of our podcast, and now we're going to touch on it with the man himself.
I mean, this guy here, he hates Dan Campbell right now. He don't even want him to.
I'm not even a Lions fan. My cousin, he's a big Lions fan, and we were watching the game together, and just those 2 4th down calls were.
But that's what he's done all season.
I mean,
that's how he got him there. So
If you're going to fire him based off that one game,
I mean,
why would you do the 4th down calls?
With the two, they could have took 2 field goals on both those 4th down conversions, and they didn't kick either, which would have tied it, or they could have been ahead by 3.
Yeah, but wasn't this the same game they were up like 17 at half?
It was.
So it's like if you're going to fire someone based off some calls,
I don't think Dan Campbell needs fired either.
Oh, no, of course not.
He's improved. He's improved every year. I mean, he took a team that was 3-15.
They should have been in the Super Bowl.
So you would fire if you were the GM of the Lions, you'd fire him right now?
Yes.
Give us a solid reason why. Just because of those 4th down calls?
Bad play call decisions.
He's the best coach the Lions have had in the past, 20 years?
Yeah, their last good coach was Andre Caldwell, I believe it was. So
They've not been to they've not been that far in how long?
30 plus years.
30 years. So how you gonna fire a guy that's took you there? But Lions fans have been hoping for their whole life.
Well, left a lot of people hanging out to dry on those 2 calls.
Did you see that Eminem meme where he's flicking off the 49ers fans? If he ever sees us, he's going to flick you off next. So I just want you to know that.
Taking a team that from a 30-year drought, you weren't even born when the last time they won.
None of us were.
None of us were born when the last time they went there. So to say you're going to fire Dan Campbell's a bit absurd, but
yeah.
Ben, you have a lot of controversial takes. That's why we brought you on, though. That's why we brought you on for the
you got any more takes you want to give with us?
There's a lot of controversy on real country music.
Uh-oh. Who do you think the GOAT is? I know this is a topic.
I have 3.
Who do you think the all-time best is?
Give us one.
One.
I know who this is going to be.
Number 1, it was Keith Whitley. I'd have to go George Jones now.
Oh, George Jones. I like George Jones.
Austin, what do you think real country music is?
George Strait. That's real
George
country.
Strait and they was arguing the other day. These two
no,
was arguing the other
No
day.
disrespect to George Strait. He has a lot of good hits, but I just think you can't even compare him to Keith Whitley, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Hank Williams. He's not even up there in the running.
Okay, so these two were arguing the other day. One was arguing George Strait and one was arguing Keith Whitley. To be fair, I'm leaning more towards the George Strait side. I don't listen to much of Keith Whitley. I think his songs are kind of mostly slow, not into slow country.
Real country music tells a story in the song.
I'm more of probably George Strait is more of my guy.
Is Keith Whitley the guy that sings that Miami song?
Miami.
Yeah.
Tyler, why don't you tell us you know about Keith Whitley?
So I only have one funny story about Keith Whitley. So when we were seniors, me and Ben was getting interviewed for Lake Cumberland Sports. We got interviewed for the baseball season coming up, and the guy was asking us, who all was your favorite? What do you listen to before the game and everything? And I'm not a big music guy, so I didn't really listen to music, but Ben went first, and he said Keith Whitley, and I had no idea what to say. So
He don't even know who Keith Whitley is.
I really didn't know. I was like, yeah, Keith Whitley, he's good, and I just didn't. I didn't know who he was, and I still said him. So
That's sad about this generation. I don't know what real music is.
yeah,
Keith Whitley
you're
would be
younger than
more
me.
up there. He would be up there more if he had more hits, but he died too
You
soon.
all lean more towards like rap music.
You're leaning
Rap
on
style.
like potential, like what he would have been today.
Yeah, exactly. He died.
But
He
he
died
passed
early. Yes.
too early.
Yes, he did
give him
die
that.
early. George Jones did not die early. George Jones was.
If he had a lot more
Right.
hits, he'd be up there. Yes.
Well, if
Let's
you
just go ahead and establish fake country music.
if you ask people these days, they'll say that Morgan Wallen's real.
Morgan Wallen is not country.
Why
I
not?
agree.
Zach Bryan is not country.
What makes you country?
Yeah, I have a name like Keith Whitley.
No, you know, I mean,
Tim
it's
McGraw.
just-
Keith and George.
that's more just like pop country. I mean, like,
I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't really know how to put it out there. I'm not a fan.
What about Chris Stapleton?
Chris Stapleton is good. I do like Chris Stapleton.
Who's that one guy? Who's that one? Blake Shelton. Remember when Danville had a baseball player named Blake Shelton? That was so weird. Yeah,
They always say Blake Shelton.
I used to like Blake Shelton. He had a lot of good songs. Then he came.
Him and Gwen
Then
Stefani.
he came out with a song that I didn't necessarily like too well.
Who was it?
Which one
I
was-
forgot the name of it, but it was talking about reincarnation, and I just kind of started not respecting Blake Shelton.
He did perform at the Super Bowl. Though.
He did.
Him and Gwen. I didn't think it was that good of a performance, but
This Super Bowl?
yeah,
Really?
it was
Speak-
a pregame.
Speaking of which, when are we gonna get another country Super Bowl? I'd like to see Luke Combs or Chris Stapleton join as one and do it. I think they got amazing voices,
I
and
agree with that.
I think anybody can get behind them, those two and their voices, and they'll obviously Stapleton sang the national anthem like 2 Super Bowls ago, and everybody loved it. Had
It
everybody
went number
tearing
one
up.
on Apple.
Yeah, everybody was tearing up. So yeah, I'd like to see Stapleton and Luke
Okay,
Combs.
so I have a question for you all. Me and my dad was arguing the other day. Who do you think's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? You have an opinion on that?
Michael Jordan, I don't have any respect at all for LeBron James.
All right.
Austin.
I don't think it's fair to ask which one's better, but
No, I
You
think
gotta-
it's fair.
I think you gotta break it down to which one's better, or which one's better for the generation. Like, do you want this generation of rules or MJ's generation? Because obviously they're two respected people, and they're different times of history of basketball. So I think you gotta break it down like that and just give them both their credit.
I think this is kind of a tricky question because obviously none of us seen Michael Jordan play. When did he retire? Were we even born?
It was
we were
like
born
97.
when he retired.
Well, I mean, he came back, but yeah, 97.
Like, basically his prime, we wasn't born.
Well, I
yet.
mean, I haven't
So-
seen George Jones in concert, but he's still the greatest of all time.
Well, like what I'm saying is like you don't know, like you can't. I mean, you watch highlights, but that's really all you can watch.
Yeah.
Now
So
we've
who are
seen-
you going to pick if you had to pick?
I think I'll pick Jordan, but I think it's pretty close.
See, I don't
from
think
what
it's
I can
that
tell.
close. I can't respect LeBron. He goes to these super teams. He don't make super teams. I mean, I just can't go along with LeBron, so I'm going to go with Jordan, obviously.
I think, yeah, it's kind of a tricky question. That's a sensitive question to some people too. Some people argue, like some people will defend Michael Jordan really hard, and then some people will defend LeBron really hard.
But that's why I feel like you just gotta give both their flowers and let it be, because if not, you're just gonna get in a never-ending.
I don't give
debate.
LeBron flowers. I don't got him in my top 5.
How
So.
do you all?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
How?
You don't got one of the greatest
How?
of all time in your top 5.
No.
How do you all feel about the upcoming November election?
Who's
Let's
running?
go
Who's
ahead-
actually
Let's go
going?
ahead and get some politics in here.
That's why we brought him on.
Who's actually going to run, though? Who's going to be the number one for Republican if they let Trump run?
Him. He would be
He'll
number
be
one.
number
if they let
one.
him run.
So,
So it's gonna be Trump and Biden. Why do we always have to have presidents that are over 80 years old?
That is true. That's what I've always
Like, can we
wondered,
not
too.
get like a guy that's at least 65? You know?
I mean, somebody that knows the younger generation
Yeah.
would be nice. I
I
mean,
mean, as much as I hate to say it, they'll probably swindle something in there, and Big Mike will be in there at office
Who's
somehow.
Big Mike?
Me
Who in the world?
and Hayden have had a bunch of
well, Ben
conversations.
Shaw
about
refers
this.
to her as Big Mike.
Who?
Michelle Obama.
Oh.
So that's my input on it.
What do you think about Big Mike? Do you think she or him is a guy?
I
Or
thought we were talking about Michael Ower, bro. From the blind
I thought you were talking
side.
about-
What are we doing?
I thought you were talking about Mike Pence.
I mean, I support Trump. If there was a better Republican running, I'd vote for him over Trump, but I feel like Trump is the best candidate that we got right now. I mean, we probably wouldn't agree on some of the same things, but
I don't think Trump's the savior, but I do think we need somebody else instead of Biden.
I agree on that.
So I'm not sure who all's running this year that's going to be with the Republicans. I know the Vivek dropped out, and I thought he was honestly pretty good.
Who?
Vivek is Vivek.
Oh,
I can't
yeah,
pronounce his last name.
He was a solid guy, but
Was he a Republican?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he kind of withdrew himself out of the running though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He withdrew and he dropped out. So
I don't really know him because I don't watch news. News is too depressing to me. I just like every time I see it, they're talking about, you know, like what you were talking about earlier.
shootings.
Shootings and someone's getting stabbed and someone's getting fired and there's nothing positive that happens on the news anymore.
That's why only old people watch
Yeah,
news
yes.
nowadays. I don't know what the thing is about it, but I don't watch it either. But
I
I'll
want
look at
to go back to Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Why do you call her Big Mike?
Well, it's not just us. That's what a lot of people have nicknamed.
It's probably not podcast
Like, is she-
friendly.
Well, the thing is nobody's seen her when she was pregnant. That's one of the big arguments. And then, what was the other one you told me? How in college?
College, Barack Obama's best friend looked almost
So,
identical.
y'all
So Barack Obama in college
so
had a
what you're
best friend.
saying is you basically see her as a man.
So you're saying that she's transgender? Are you
That's what
willing
he
to make
said.
that statement on the
Is that
Triple
what
Crown
y'all
Conversation
heard
podcast?
I'm not. I don't know the 100% facts, but I'm leaning towards. Yeah, I think she. Not. No, I'm not even
You
gonna
heard
say
me
she because I honestly I really don't know. But I mean there is some.
There is some strong evidence towards that she or he is a guy, or because Barack Obama had a best friend in college.
Well, if we ever find out, we'll have to replay this episode and say that Ben. Shaw
I don't
had
think
a
it's
good
ever
friend.
gonna come out, but it
No,
is a funny story.
Now back to the episode canceled.
No.
We do not hate transgenders. Let's just get that out of the way. We do not hate them. No, that's not what we're
Well,
getting
you're not
at.
supposed to hate anybody, ain't that right?
No,
Isn't
we
that
don't
what-
hate
isn't that what
anybody.
the Bible
Yeah,
says?
you're a big church dude, aren't you?
I am.
Okay,
You're not
yeah.
supposed to hate
We're
nobody.
not getting. I don't hate transgenders. I deeply pray for them.
I agree with
That's
that.
what we should all strive for, ain't that right? Ben?
That's right.
All right, moving on from Big Mike. I want to go ahead and touch on this before the show ends. Kentucky football hired an offensive coordinator. His name is Bush Hamden. Where's he going?
Ben Shaw was taking a bathroom break.
He just randomly
Walked off. We have a walk-off on live. He walked off mad, boys.
Big Mike got him upset, I guess.
Okay, get back on topic.
Kentucky football hires Bush Hamden as offensive coordinator. Came from Boise State. He was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, this is kind of out of nowhere. Nobody expected
Nobody
him, really.
heard of him.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, we were expecting it to be that Georgia Tech offensive coordinator. Then it came out on Saturday that they hired Bush Hamden. I don't really know much about him. I know that he's been a lot of places since like 2015. He's been at like 8 or 9 different stops. So
That
he's
usually
been-
isn't a good thing.
No, it's not. But
But coming into the season, having a new offensive coordinator isn't a bad idea. Having somebody that not many offense or defenses know about, it don't seem like a bad idea. I'd like to see him in a few games before, like pre-games, to see how he's going to look. But overall, I don't like it. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is about Kentucky's offensive coordinator, they've had a lot of turnover in that position. I mean, they've had guys. They have a new offensive coordinator every other year, it feels like, and that's never good, is it, Austin?
No, of course not. And you want your offense to learn from one dude usually and consistently. That way you don't have different systems they got to learn and this and that and have to come out and put on the field. So I'm not too certain I know this dude, but he's not who we thought they would sign. So it's going to be interesting. I think, like I said a couple episodes ago, I thought they had some nice offensive weapons to use, so hopefully he can use them. With Macklin from North Texas and Trainum coming from Ohio State, who I'm familiar with as being a Buckeyes fan. So it's going to be interesting, but I wish the best for him. So.
And we have had Big Mike return. He's back.
Can we just call you Big Mike now?
Not really, no.
Okay, anyone got anything? I'm going to do one last thing before we wrap up. Anyone got anything else, Ben?
Got anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, it's up to y'all if y'all want to ask me a certain question.
Well, I know Ben's been in the gym a lot, so what's the max looking like right now for bench?
bench ain't looking too hot.
Well, tell everyone what time you get up and go to the gym.
I wake
This is
up.
psychotic behavior.
Yeah, I mean, do y'all in the audience just want to know my daily routine?
Sure.
If you want,
take
you
us
can
to
give
the
us
life
your-
of Ben Shaw.
Okay, the life of Ben Shaw. I go to bed every night at 9 o'clock. I wake up at 4, hit the shower, go to the gym, get there around 4:30, work out probably around 6:30. I go home.
What, do you meditate beforehand?
No, I go home, do my Bible study. I read a lot. And then, I'll eat breakfast, study for school, then that's really about it. Then repeat.
Sounds like
But
you got
why do you get up so early is the thing. You have all day to do that.
I can't go to the gym early. I just don't have the motivation, I don't guess. But I never have been able to get up out of bed and go to the gym immediately. Usually if I go, it's after school, after I've been up a while, where I feel like I have full energy and full able to do all the stuff.
Another great podcast, besides this one, to listen to is Unashamed by Phil Robertson.
No free shout-outs.
No, I do like
I mean,
that
it
one, too.
obviously does not compare to how good this podcast is. But
I do like Unashamed. I've watched it a few times. Austin and me watched it in the back.
Is that the Duck Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty, where they film it, where they used
I
to
like
make
that
the
one.
calls. Speaking of, you do hunt a lot. Did you go duck hunting any this season?
I went twice.
You went twice. Did you get anything?
I did not.
Not a single duck. Twice.
I'm
Glad to
more
get that
of,
shot, buddy.
turkey hunting is more my cup of tea.
Did you go this past turkey?
I did.
Why?
Get
Because
anything?
it's a
I
bigger
did
bird to
get a
hit.
turkey. I did get
He can't hit the smaller bird. He ain't got that good at
I did
accuracy.
get a good bird last year. Looking forward to
Isn't
this.
that your profile picture?
It is. Saturday, I will be going to Nashville for the NWTF convention.
What is that?
National Wild Turkey Federation.
Oh, there you go.
That seems like something where you belong.
If you're looking for turkey calls, there is a great company out of Mississippi that comes every year. The company name is Pecker Ecker Calls. It is a-
What a name, bro.
Pecker Ecker
It
Calls.
Are
is
they
a-
paying you to say this?
No, they're not. I
Ben
like
Shaw
them.
has a
I like
promotion
them a
here.
lot.
He's
They're-
promoting all these companies and
That's
brands.
why I wanted to come
Here
on.
we are.
I like them a lot.
We're trying to make it ourselves.
I like them a lot. They're a family-owned business. They're not too big. Another thing.
What all happened at a turkey call convention?
They,
Like, what is it?
I guess you test out all the turkey calls, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
you
does
can
it
do
just
that.
sound like a big old mock of turkeys when you walk in? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Do you
not-
test them out like on each other?
I mean, it's more than just turkey hunting. There's a lot that have going on there.
Well,
Which,
Sounds
by
like
the way,
fun.
we are open to sponsorships.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
that out there.
yeah, give us a call.
If you want to sponsor us, we'll give you we'll have Ben Shaw advertised. for you.
Especially Red Bull and Dr. Pepper. Just putting that out there. We love those.
At Dr. Pepper.
So what else you had to talk about?
I wanted to talk about Kentucky baseball real quick because they opened up their season tomorrow actually against University. I want to see if y'all have heard of this college, University of South Carolina Upstate. Have you ever heard of that college?
I don't watch much baseball in college, so I'm not real familiar with any of the teams.
I haven't really heard of much of them either, but apparently they're pretty good in baseball. I've been reading up on here on KSR. That's gonna be.
Tommy Tanks and LSU will shut them down this year, more than likely.
They lost to LSU last year in the Super Bowl.
They did.
But yeah, apparently South Carolina Upstate's pretty solid. They're in the Big South Conference, almost like Big Mike. Close to Big Mike.
Who is Tommy Tanks? That's what I'm wondering.
Tommy Watt.
Tommy Watt.
Is he good or something?
He is beyond good.
Yeah, they call him
LSU.
Was that their coach?
No, like he broke the. What did he do? Break the home run?
He broke the home run record. He broke that with Nebraska.
Is Livy Dunn dating the guy off LSU?
Paul Skeens.
Yeah,
Does he still play for him?
No,
he's
got drafted.
Pittsburgh.
He's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, he's with Pittsburgh.
And
He
then,
was number one
what
pick.
was it? Dylan Cruz that also
Yeah,
got drafted.
yeah.
I thought he was one of their best hitters. So is he? You're telling me this dude's better than Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh,
His name is Tommy Tanks. Of course he's better.
I mean, just because he hits bombs don't make him a better baseball player, you know.
Well, who's the greatest of all time baseball player?
Oh, here we go.
Babe Ruth, and all he did was hit tanks.
Listen here, dog. Do not come for me about Babe Ruth, okay?
That's a matter of opinion, Babe Ruth. I didn't even get no video.
Who's the greatest pitcher of all time?
Of
Nolan
all time.
Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with Nolan Ryan. Either him or Randy Johnson.
Why? Who's yours?
Rivera.
Mariano
The
Rivera.
closer, dog?
Is the best.
Of course he was the greatest. I mean, he only had to pitch an inning every 2 games, bro.
How you gonna say Mariano
him.
Rivera?
I think personally one of the best pitchers right now, if he was still in the league, which is stupid, would be Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, he's vouching to get back in the league.
He's in some
said-
Chinese league, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
playing overseas.
he's been vouching, saying he'd take the vet minimum, and he said people like Blake Snell, who I like personally, he's won all these millions, but Bauer said why go for that when you can come for somebody who will play for the vet minimum and keep a winning team on the diamond, which honestly I liked him on the Reds. He's a Cy Young Award winner, and I wish we could have got him back, but we're just too young, and we don't need him. But this got Astros written all over
So,
it. I don't know why, but it's got Astros written all over it.
So, Fowler, are we doing any kind of trivia?
Not today. We'll pick up trivia next week.
All right.
Maybe you'll be on again and talk about. Big
I'll be
Mike.
here next week.
Whoa, buddy.
I don't know about that.
Maybe.
We'll see.
He's
about
calling
it.
his shot
Maybe.
right now.
This is our podcast. Come here.
I am now the biggest sponsor in history of Triple Crown. I'll be donating $100.
All right, put it on the
If
table.
you donated $1, you'd be our biggest sponsor.
So far we. We better let Tyler get back on topic real quick.
Well, I was
Finish
pretty-
out this
I was pretty
segment.
much done. Yeah, they open up their season tomorrow against South
All
Carolina.
right. Good luck, Kentucky
We
baseball.
gotta hit a game up.
Yeah,
We
we
Gotta
will.
get to a
Yeah.
game.
Maybe do a show from the game. That'd be awesome.
Bring the live setup and
I
have
don't
it
know
in the
about all
bleachers.
that, but yeah, we'll get to a game.
We would like to do a show somewhere outside of my basement. Even though we love the 3 deer heads, we kind of want to bring the show to like basketball court, baseball field. You know, baseball season's starting up here soon. Maybe we can do a show at our old high school, Southwestern. Maybe before a game or something. Maybe you have to get in contact with Coach Gover over at Southwestern.
That'd
See
definitely be cool.
if we can make that happen. That'd be awesome, I think.
Speaking of, me and Tyler do have a basketball tournament coming up. A 3-on-3s me and him's entered. We're not even good at basketball, so we're just going to hope and pray at this point.
Yeah.
But we will have a upcoming tournament.
if our listeners want to come
support us. Yeah.
It's March 9th at. Why does he just leave randomly? It is March 9th. It is March 9th at Oak Hill Baptist, and but yeah, we're gonna try and not embarrass ourselves. You know,
That's
we
the goal.
We gotta hit the gym, hit the basketball court. We gotta practice a little bit more. So, y'all got anything else before we wrap up? This has been a long show.
I think that's about it, but
Okay.
I think he's going. Well, Ben Shaw's kind of walked off now.
So
I'm
yeah,
currently behind the camera to turn it off.
He's
for
behind the
everybody.
camera to hit the button for us.
we'll wrap it up here.
Thanks for Ben Shaw for being on today.
Yeah,
We
thank-
appreciate all your
Appreciate it.
opinions.
He may be on next week. We'll see. You know, we'll
As long as we don't get canceled before that.
So thank you all for watching. We'll do another episode next Thursday. Post on Friday, Saturday. You all know the schedule by now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Jesus Christ is Lord.